Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Mohammad Sohrab and you are watching Evolve Edge Virtual Learning. Guys, today we'll discuss about most important topic of finance, that is time value of money. Uh, Guys, we cannot exclude this topic from finance because it is considered as one of the core topic of finance and it will remain part of every chapter. Okay, so before discussing time value of money, let's understand why it is so essential and why it is considered as the core of finance. Okay guys, if you want to understand the importance of time value of money, you have to understand the role of CFO. Okay, so the primary role of CFO is to ensure that his company has sufficient supply of cash. Okay, and supplier or CFO make it possible through these two sources. Okay, so first first of all we understood that it's CFO responsibility that to make sure that there is maximum availability of cash for his company, there is maximum availability of fund for his company. Okay, so once he has generated fund, he will generate fund through these two sources. Okay, one is debt source and then second is equity source. So he will generate fund through these two sources. Once he has generated fund, now it's time to implement it or it's time to invest it. Okay, so he has to invest it in a way that the value of money remain constant or the value of money increase during the period. Okay, so he has to ensure that the fund which he has taken from creditors or the fund that he has taken from the shareholders, he has invest it in a way that it increase the value of fund in the future. So that's why this chapter is considered as most important chapter. Okay, so here we can understand that here he is the buyer of the fund. Okay, he is the buyer of capital and he will buy capital at minimum price. So here he has to buy capital on very minimum price. For that he will do valuation of money. Okay, then once he has taken or once he has bought fund from the creditors shareholders, then he has invest it in a way that it increase the value of fund. So when he will sell these funds in operations or when he will invest these funds in operation, he will make sure that he is a seller of security at maximum price. So here he will the buyer of the security at minimum price. So once he has taken fund, once fund arises in the company, then he will implement it or he will invest it in such projects which maximize the value of the money. Okay, so we can say that the role of CFO is that or his job is to minimize the price of commodity when we buy it. Okay, he has to minimize the price of commodity, like when company will take liabilities or when company will take loan, he has to make sure that he take that loan at very minimum price. Okay, and he has to ensure that whatever he is paying to his shareholders in the form of dividend, he has to ensure that it is in minimum cost. Okay, so when so his job is to ensure that to minimize the prices of commodity when we buy uh, fund. Okay, when we buy commodity, he has to ensure that it we buy it at very minimum price, okay, and maximize the price of product when we sell it, okay. So maximize the product price of product when we sell it, so that for example, if we have taken 1 lakh rupees from creditors, okay, at interest rate of 10%, then we should invest that in that amount in a way that we generate at least 15%, so we will earn 5% more than the amount, than the price we have at the price we have purchased that capital. So it is his job to ensure that whatever we have sold, we sold it at higher prices than the prices we have, than the price at which we have bought the product, okay. So it is the role of CF. Okay guys, let's understand the core concept of time value of money. Okay guys, the concept of time value of money is that in two different point of time, if amount is same but it is not same in reality, okay. So it is the concept that sum of money is worth more today or now than the same sum of money will be at the future. So let's understand it with an example. Suppose if you have 1000, okay, and you keep it in a locker for 1 year, okay, at point 0, then after 1 year when you draw it back from your locker, still it will be 1000, and if you put it again and draw it after second year, it will still same, okay, it will remain same, okay, there will be no change in appearance of the money. Whatever you keep at year first or at year 0, it was same in year 2, but in reality it is not same, okay. Why? Because we know that over the time purchasing power of money decline because of inflation, okay. And second thing is that if you hide this 1000 for 2 or 3 years, you will lose the additional money it could have earned over the time if invested, okay. So you have kept it in a locker, so that amount is not invested in anywhere, okay. So first thing is that amount will lose its purchasing power. Why it will lose its purchasing power? Because of inflation. Purchasing power of your money decline over the year, okay, because inflation decrease your purchasing power of money. So that's why this 1000 will not be equal to this amount. So in appearance, this 1000 in year 1 is equal to the 1000 at year 2, okay, but in financial term this 1000 is not equal to this 1000. Why? Because this 1000 has not that worth or purchasing power that this 1000 has, okay. So at year first or at year 0, the purchasing power that your money has, it will not same. Why I say that this 1000 is not equal to this 1000? Because in year 2 this 1000 has not that worth or purchasing power that has in year 1, okay, that has in year 1. This will has not that worth, okay. Let's understand this with an example. Suppose you have this 1000, okay, you have this 1000, and now with this 1000 you can buy 10 kg product, okay. Now you can buy 10 kg product at year 0, but you will not be able to buy same 10 kg at year 2. Why? Because at year 2 it will reduce its purchasing power, okay. So at year 2 purchasing power of money will definitely decline, okay. And we know that money is defined by its purchasing power or its buying power. So at year 2 definitely you will not be able to buy same quantity. Why? Because of inflationary factor. And how much your money will decline its value or how much your money will lose its value, it is totally depend on inflation. Okay, it is totally depend on inflation. If inflation is higher, then your money will decline its worth more quickly. So we can say that it is totally depend on inflation. Okay, it is totally depend on inflation what value your asset will have in the future. Okay, if there is high inflation, then definitely there will be a higher amount you will require to equal your amount with your present value. Okay, if there is low inflation, then definitely you will not require such high value to equal your present value with your future value. Okay, so it is totally depend on inflation. So guys, if you have invested in a project, okay, and that project gave you, and you have invested 1000 for 2 years, okay, and then that project gave you 1500 against that, you cannot say that you have earned 500 rupees. Okay, unless suppose that you have invested 1000 in a project, okay, and that project give you 1500 after 1 year, you cannot say that you have earned 500. Okay, why? Because you have to think about the inflation factor. If there is 50% inflation in the market, then 50% inflation mean this amount will be equal to this amount. Okay, 50% inflation mean there will be 500% increase in the prices. That mean in the future you have earn nothing. Why? Because your amount is equal to the inflationary amount, because your amount is your future amount is your, the amount which you have earned is equal to the amount uh, which we can calculate through inflationary factor. Okay, so one thing you have to keep in your mind that you have to check the inflation factor, you have to check the inflation rate, then you can go for a projection. Okay, so let's consider this thing with an example. Okay, suppose that you have 1000 and you goes to market and you have purchased 10 kg product. Okay, you have purchased 10 kg product. That mean the price of that product is 100 rupees. Okay, that mean the price of that product is 100 kg and you bought 8 you bought 10 kg product. Okay, and we suppose that there is 25% inflation in the market. Okay, there is 25% inflation in the market. What does that mean? That mean suppose that suppose that there is 25% inflation in the market. That means in second year this price will increase with 25%. Okay, so how we can calculate 25% inflation? So suppose that there is 25% inflation in the market. Okay, so inflation is 25%. That means this price will be increased with 25%. Okay, so in year 0 it is 100, we will multiply it with 25. Okay, then we will divide it 100. So the price will increase with rs 25 rupees. Okay, so here at year 0 the price of that product will be 125 rupees. Okay, so how much product you can buy with this 1000 rupees at year 1? After year 1, how much product you can buy this 1000? Right now you can buy 1000, we will divide it with 25. So right now you can buy only 8 kg product with this 1000. So that's why we said that the 1000 at year 0 is not equal to the 1000 at year 1. Why? Because here its value has declined and the reason of decline is inflation. There is inflation in the market, and that's why the value of the money has declined. Okay, then I suppose that in year 2 again there is 25% increase in prices. Okay, so here price is 150. Okay, and now how much product you can buy with this 1000, right? Okay, okay, in year 3 how much product you can buy with this 1000? Okay, suppose there is again 25% increase in prices. Okay, so suppose that price of that product is right now 200. Okay, and the price of that product is 200. So how much products you can buy right now with this 1000? You will divide this figure with 200. So right now here in year 3 you can just buy 5 kg product with this 1000. So we cannot say that this 1000 is equal to this 1000. Why? Because at year 0 at present we can buy 10 kg product with this 1000, and at year but in third year we can just buy 5 kg product with this 1000. So we cannot say that this 1000 is equal to this 1000. So when we can say that this 1000 is equal to this 1000, when we will be able to buy same 10 kg product with that amount. Okay, whatever amount will be here in year 3, if we can buy 10 kg product with that amount, we will say that we are equal to year 3. Okay, so we have to find the amount with that we can buy 10 kg product. Okay, at year 3 what will be the amount through which we can buy? Should have in year 3 that amount will be equal to this amount at year 0. Okay, what amount you should have? So what you can do for this, you can just simply multiply this price. Okay, you have to multiply this price with 10 kg. You will be able to get what amount you should have right here at year 3. That will be equal to this amount. Okay, suppose that I will multiply this 200. How I will calculate it? For that I will multiply this 200. It is price at year 3, and the quantity that I have required at year 3. Okay, so now I have required 2000 rupees, and this 2000 rupees will be considered as equal to this 1000. Why? Because with this 2000 I can buy 10 kg product. Okay, and with this 2000 and with this 1000 at year 0 I can buy 10 kg product that is equal to this 2000 at year 3. Why? Because with this 2000 I can buy same 10 kg product. Okay, suppose that there is a project that offer you 1900 after 3 years. So will you invest in that project or not? Definitely not. Why? Because we have required at least 2000. That 2000 will be equal to our invested amount, that is 1000. So if we have 2000, then we will say that this project is somehow feasible for us. Okay, because as per inflation our amount is equal with the amount that we have at present. Okay, and if that project is offering you 1900, you will not accept that project. Why? Because this 1900 is not equal to this 1000 rupees. Okay, so this is how we do projections, and this is how, and this is why it is considered as one of the core topic of finance. Okay, I suppose that there is a project that offer you uh, 2000 after 5 years. Okay, and there is inflation and there is 9% inflation in the market. and this is the cash flow of that project. Okay, so how much amount you should invest today, how much amount you should invest today in that project, so it will be considered as equal to that 2000. So how we can calculate it? It is very simple to calculate, and we know that here this question is asking to calculate the value at present. Okay, what will be the value at year 0, and what is the amount that we should invest today that will offer us 2008 after year after 5 years. So in the future we will get 5000. At present what amount we should invest in this project. Okay, so this is very simple to calculate it. What we will do, we will just write it over here as how will we calculate present value, and suppose it's then it's number of years. Okay, for number of years, so this is how we will calculate uh, present value. Okay, suppose that this is the project and these are the cash flows of that project. Okay, at this different point of time. Okay, so how will we calculate present value? For that we will have to divide this 100 over. So this is how we will calculate it. Okay, it is very simple. We will write the inflow amount. Okay, then we will divide it with the our current uh, we will divide it 1 plus inflation rate and its power. Even power mean number of years. Okay, for how many years it will inflow in the company. Okay, how much time it will take to inflow. So this is how we will write it. Okay, then answer will be its answer will be 1743. Okay, its answer will be 1743. Its answer will be 1743. Okay, so what actually this 1743 mean? This 1743 mean if you have 1743 rupees at year 0, then that will be equal to this amount which you have invested in the company. Okay, the amount which you have received from the company. Okay, that amount will be equal to this 1743. Okay, at year 0 or at present that amount will be equal to 1700. So you have to invest 1743 in order to get this inflow of amount after year 5. Okay, out in 5 years. Okay, so okay guys, if a sudden sharp rise in interest rate rises the discount rate to 13%. Okay, suppose that because of interest rate discount rate has increased to 13%. Now how will we calculate our present value? It is again very simple. We will divide every figure with this amount, but here in discounting we will write 0.13. Okay, so suppose that how we will do it, we will divide this, we will divide this 100 with 1 plus 0.13%. Okay, so this is how we will do it. It is very simple to do this question. Okay, okay, again suppose that because of, again there is an example. Suppose that okay, suppose again I'm writing another example. Okay, the way I written 13%. Okay, suppose there is another example. which show that because of few reasons there is a sharp rise in inflow amount. Okay, then inflow amount was 100 in year first, and then 120 in year 2, and 130 150 in year 3, 190 in year 4, and 2000 year in year 5. Okay, but there is a sharp rise in interest rate, which has rises the inflow of amount. Okay, that means that amount has increased by 20%. Okay, so how will we calculate this thing? How will we calculate this question? For that we have to divide. What we will do, first of all, we will add 20% amount in inflow amount. Okay, then before inflow was 100. Okay, now there is 20% rise in the inflow. How we will calculate it? It is very simple to calculate it. Multiply it we will just multiply it with 1.20. 1.20. Why I write it 1.20? Because there is 20% increase in previous cash flow. Previous cash flow was 100. Now there is 20% increase in the cash flow. Right here it was 100 in the past, but now there is increase at 120%. So how I will write it? I will write it in a way that 1100 multiply 1 1.20. Okay, so this is how we will write it. Okay, so this amount will become 120. Okay, then again what we will do, we will then second amount is 120. Okay, now again there is rise in 120. So previous amount is 120. Okay, how much rise is there? Rise is 20%. Okay, so there is 20% rise in the so I will write it as 1.220. Okay, one is its base figure, and there is 20% rise in the figure. There is 20% rise in the figure. So how will I write it? I will write it as previous value was 120. Okay, and I will multiply it with 1 1.20. Okay, so this is equal to 1.144. so this is new cash flow. In the same way you guys will do rest. Okay, these rest you will do in the same way, and then you will calculate present value of these figures. Okay, so guys, hopefully this was a nice session. Okay, we will do it again in our next session.